Well, we come to the end of Civilization set with Gaga, Glory to the Heroes, which is a rather, well, they all seem to be quite odd films, really. In this one here, we meet the character of Scope at the start of this one, a prisoner. We're in the future where it seems like all the really habitable planets have been discovered, and yet just through the means of doing what they have to do, they continue to send people to new planets to see if they can create a larger colony of places. So we find our hero, Scope, at the start of this one doing the job of an astronaut, a job that was once like revered and a job that was aimed to have, has now been pushed down to the fact that we're using prisoners to explore the rest of the galaxy, the dregs of the galaxy.
Po 29 dniach, jeżeli oczywiście przeżyjesz, wsiądziesz do wahadłowca, zakręcisz wajchę i ta trumna przywiezie cię do nas z powrotem.
Scope gets sent to a planet, Australia 48, where they are longing for an Earth visitor to come because they let them kind of run amok, do all kinds of crime and whatever they want for a period of time before killing them, as a kind of cathartic nature for the planet to release all of its pent-up aggression. This is a very comedic movie. It's on the nose in this one. There are many laugh out loud sequences. There are many brash characters, or characters acting so blasé about the impending murder of our main character. It was one that I really grew to love as it went on, and the thematics become clearer as it come on as well. There's lots of little things throughout it. There are statues that are missing the right arm. There is a kind of right arm that comes out of a locker that gets ripped off. A policeman's arm gets ripped off later on. There's all these ideas about the right arm, which symbolises strength and power and action, as it is ripped from the people. You know, we have a character who has no power, who has no real action in him other than what he is dictated to do.
Czy nie wyobraża pan sobie, jak wielkie korzyści odnosi zbiorowość, mogąc być świadkiem przykładnego ukarania czegoś koszmarnego? Jak rzadką i budującą rzeczą jest oglądanie ukaranej zbrodni.
There is a moment at the start as well where he has an AI computer telling him push this button to show that you have free will, which is kind of giving him the option of illusion of free will, where everything's preordained, and by pushing the button he becomes complicit in that world of being pushed and pulled to whatever he wants to do. And that comes across in the entire film. It's a film about the perception of free will, of action being important, but that's all stripped away from the characters. There's this kind of idea of religion in it as well. We have our main character who's going to be put up on a spike to die along with two other people, which very much parallels Jesus as he was crucified. And although that was a character that had a longer lasting impression, and at the end of this one we have a kind of other idea into a religious story of almost Adam and Eve at the end of this one as well. Again, I really like these movies because the thematics don't seem to be too hidden. They're easy to figure out what the filmmaker is trying to say, and by using this almost Terry Gilliam-like, which is more so in this one, but I can see touches of it in the other movies as well, aesthetic idea, the use of humour and oddity to come to the forefront of the films, it creates this really unique feeling.
To była genialna zbrodnia! Zabić wspólnika, żeby zagarnąć jego łup! My wszyscy podziwiamy pana!
And although the films are all separate entities, they feel like part of the same idea. It's part of the same old, pointing at communism, pointing at the lack of power, the lack of drive, the inevitability of continuing the same path and routines and nothing ever changes, is all clear to see amongst these three movies. I can't stress how enjoyable these were to watch. They're not heavy films to digest. They have interesting plots. If you want to enjoy the story of the main character, you can do that. If you want to dig into the thematics, it's there. If you want to look in the background and find the oddities or the wonderful set design or the fantastic cinematography, it's all there for you to uncover. These aren't heavy movies like, say, the Zulawski set. This is a more kind of fun set in my eyes. But I would love to know your opinion of these films. But first, let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras on this one. Let's go to the special features. We have an audio commentary by Daniel Burt, which I haven't listened to as yet, but I definitely will, because I think there's a lot more interesting facets to be discovered in this movie. Sunday with Peter Silskin. In this clip from an archival television programme, Peter Silskin discusses his films with critic and playwright. This runs at 20 minutes 13 seconds. It is a really kind of fun conversation. The critic is really kind of animated at points. He's a screenwriter as well, and they talk about certain aspects of these three films that are featured on this set. Finally, we have Banquet, an award-winning short film about a group of guests at a dinner party who are in for a surprise when well, you know what, I won't tell you. It's fun to discover, it's very different, very novel, and a cool idea. And that's the extras for Gaga, Glory to the Heroes. There we have it. Gaga, Glory to the Heroes rounds off this set, which is marvellous yet again. I would love to know your opinion of this film and of the set as a whole if you've watched it. So drop a comment down below. We'll have a little chit chat about this film. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.